So Girls Frontline 2 is going to release in just about 2 days and some change for the Dark Winter Sunborn version in North America, Australia, C, and Africa. And then for the How Play version for South America, Europe, Japan, Korea, and part of C, you're going to have to wait 4 days. So that's going to be a little bit of a bummer, starting a little bit later than half of us, essentially. But what I want to talk about in this video is the year-long gap between CN and global versions, and just sort of how they're going about implementing the launch banners, and just a word of caution in how you proceed forward, because there's going to be a lot of, especially in the content creation space, there's going to be a lot of certain types of videos that'll be coming out for every banner that is most likely going to fall in the same pattern, and I'll go over that in just a minute. But what we're going to be getting on the global launch is going to be a double limited banner. We're going to get Suomi for one featured banner. She is a support character, and then the other limited featured character is going to be Ulrid, a Vanguard character. And then, of course, there's also going to be their weapon banners as well, going live at the same time. So this is already a major difference between the CN launch and global launch. CN only launched with one banner, and I believe their first limited banner wasn't even on launch day. It was like a couple days after launch. But we can go over here to the characters, and we can actually see which character launched first. I don't actually know who it is, but if we go to where's Ulrid, we can see Ulrid launched in CN on June 5th, 2024. So Ulrid was not the first banner in CN. And if we go over to Suomi was June 25th, 2024. So Suomi was right after Ulrid, in the middle of this year. Just one banners for CN. So already there's a little bit of a difference there. And to me, that sort of seems like maybe they're trying to reduce the gap between CN and global to either catch up, operate on an accelerated schedule, or maybe the launch day or the launch banner period is just an anomaly, and we're not going to be getting double banners in the future. It's just for the launch period. Who knows? But the point is that they've already confirmed that they're not going to follow CN's schedule for global. So all of these CN T-dolls that have been released in CN, their schedules are not going to be the same as ours. So if you really want Kluke, very popular T-doll from Girls Frontline 1, HK 416. If you want Kluke, we don't know when she's coming. She could be right after Ulrid and Suomi, or she could be 7 months down the line, or she can be, you know, a year down the line. So we don't know, and it's going to be very difficult to plan around when your desired T-doll is coming to global. It really does make it difficult to save up for certain T-dolls. You could get hit back to back. Like, I really want the 404 squad, so Mekti, Lena, Kluke, they could send them back to back to back, and I'd be totally screwed. Versus if they were spaced out, and I could save up in between each three. So it does make it difficult to plan your resources around that. That is something you do have to take into consideration, and as well as tier lists. I'm going to get into that in just a minute as well. In addition, we're going to be getting a lot of goodies for the launch period. If you actually want to write down these codes or save this video for when launch day comes, you can enter in these promo codes and you'll get some free goodies. I'll leave them down in the description below, so you can easily access them. But those will probably give you a bunch of like upgrade resources, upgrade materials, probably a couple of like gems or whatever. But we're also going to be getting hit with a bunch of skins right out the gate. Girls Frontline, the first Girls Frontline had loads of skins. That was its like primary moneymaker, because you didn't actually need to spend currency resources to get the T-dolls. You just had to spend resource that regenerated over time. So all of like your purchase stuff went into basically trying to fish for skins in the skin gacha. So we're getting a skin shop. We have permanent additions of 4 T-dolls, and then we do get 2 limited outfits as well. So I don't know how the limited outfits are going to work in Girls Frontline 2. They're probably just going to be run during the character's banner. So I'd imagine it'd be something like Arknights, where the character skin gets run with the character banner, and then they will show up periodically throughout the year in certain scenarios. So if any of these characters interest you, you'll want to probably pick them up. They are going to cost money to get. I don't know how much, but that is something to consider. Now, for going back to the year gap between CN and Global, the word of caution I want to get to is, if you're going to be looking at tier lists based off of CN tier list to sort of plan out your pulls on who you want to get in the future, so Macchiato, Kluke, Andoris, Belka, you know, you want to get all the tier 0s because they're top tier or whatever. The word of caution I would have to say is, because of the way they're going to handle Global, you don't know when these characters are coming. They could be right after Suomi. They could be a year down the line. They could skip somebody. They could not prioritize certain T-dolls and take forever to show up. So if you're gunning for a top tier T-doll or a certain T-doll and you're not spending resources anywhere else, you are putting yourself at a certain sort of risk of burnout for saving up all your resources, not really enjoying other characters you may enjoy in the interim period, and then burning out and quitting the game before they even show up. I've done it before in other gachas where I'm like, oh, I want this character, I'm gonna save up for them, and then I never make it to that character. You know, I'll use Genshin Impact as an example. When I wanted to get Eula, or a copy of Eula, and her second rerun had like just happened, so I got Eula on her second rerun, and then she didn't get rerun for like almost 2.5 years or something like that. I had quit by then. Like, I wasn't gonna last. So I don't think it's gonna be that extreme, but that is something to take into consideration. And then of course, with following the tier list, you're gonna get a lot of videos of these future T-dolls saying, oh, don't bother with this T-doll. They're low tier. They're not gonna be important. Prioritize Suomi over Ulrid. Ulrid's in the second to lowest tier. Suomi's top tier. You're gonna want to put everything into Suomi. If you like Ulrid, now don't bother with Ulrid. Skip Ulrid. Who cares? And I think for meta players, I mean, that's, yeah, sure, sound advice, but if you like her look, you like her weapon, you like the play style, I wouldn't say to be discouraged from getting characters you want to play as, because you like them for, you know, their appearance, their voice actor, their, you know, skill set, they look cool, you know, just go for it. Because I mean, the point of playing a game is to enjoy it in the moments, not, you know, trying to save up to enjoy it like a year down the line. And then this brings an issue with characters not yet released. So if we take a look at, so Papasha is in CN, she's not in Global. So Papasha here is, according to CN, part of the lowest tier, second to lowest tier. So when Papasha gets released, who's gonna recommend Papasha when, you know, who's gonna recommend Papasha when you could get Kluke instead, right? So just a word of caution. I wouldn't say, you know, disregard everything and try and get every character, but I wouldn't let tier lists sway you and the upcoming videos around banners sway you from getting characters that you just want to get and like. Anyway, those are just my thoughts and ramblings. Get who you want, play the game how you want to play it, have fun, enjoy your time with Girls Frontline, not worrying about who is good and who is not. Let me know down in the comments below which T-Doll you're going to be pulling for on launch. Are you going to get Suomi or Ulrid, or are you going to go for both? Are you going to get everything? And who are you excited for in the future? I can't wait for the 404 squad personally, but that's not going to really stop me from, you know, pulling characters I like in between. As always, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you for the next video.